The globalization of commerce has transformed the way companies approach product development and distribution. As multinational corporations seek growth beyond saturated home markets, emerging economies have become increasingly attractive destinations due to their expanding middle classes, rising disposable incomes, and growing appetite for global brands. However, the path to success in these diverse markets is not straightforward. One of the most critical strategies for achieving sustainable growth and customer loyalty in emerging markets is the localization of global products. Localization goes far beyond simple translation. It encompasses the adaptation of products, services, marketing, and business models to align with the cultural, linguistic, regulatory, and economic realities of each target market. This process is both complex and essential, requiring an in-depth understanding of local consumers' needs, preferences, and behaviors. At its core, localization is about relevance. A product that enjoys immense popularity in one country may fail spectacularly in another if it does not resonate with local sensibilities. For instance, consumer tastes, religious beliefs, dietary habits, and even color symbolism can vary dramatically across regions. Companies that ignore these differences risk alienating their target audience or worse, sparking controversy. Therefore, successful localization begins with rigorous market research. This involves not just quantitative data collection, but also qualitative insights gathered through focus groups, interviews, and ethnographic studies. By immersing themselves in the daily lives of local consumers, companies can uncover subtle nuances that might otherwise be missed. One notable example of effective localization is the fast food giant McDonald's. While its golden arches are instantly recognizable worldwide, the menu inside a McDonald's restaurant can look very different depending on where you are. In India, where a significant portion of the population is vegetarian and beef consumption is taboo for religious reasons, McDonald's offers a range of vegetarian options and uses chicken or paneer as the primary protein in many dishes. The company also adapts its marketing messages to reflect local festivals and cultural practices. Similarly, in Japan, McDonald's has introduced items such as the teriyaki burger and ebi filet o, shrimp burger, to cater to Japanese tastes. These adaptations are not superficial tweaks. They are the result of deep engagement with local food culture and consumer expectations. Localization also extends to branding and communication. Language is a powerful carrier of meaning, and direct translations often fail to capture the emotional resonance or humor intended in the original message. For example, Procter & Gamble's Thank You Mom campaign, which was highly successful in the United States, had to be carefully adapted for different markets to ensure that the sentiment resonated with local family dynamics and values. In China, where filial piety is a core value, the campaign was tailored to emphasize respect and gratitude towards parents, aligning with local cultural norms. Such sensitivity to language and context is vital for building trust and emotional connections with consumers. Beyond language, visual elements such as color, imagery, and symbols must also be localized. Colors that signify prosperity and good luck in one culture may convey mourning or danger in another. For instance, while white is associated with purity in Western cultures, it is traditionally linked to mourning in parts of East Asia. Packaging design, therefore, must be thoughtfully adapted to avoid unintended negative associations. This attention to detail can enhance a product's appeal and make it feel like a natural fit within the local landscape. Regulatory compliance is another crucial aspect of localization. Emerging markets often have complex and evolving regulatory environments that differ significantly from those in developed countries. These regulations may pertain to product safety, labeling, advertising, environmental standards, and more. Failure to comply can result in costly delays, fines, or even bans. For example, pharmaceutical companies entering markets such as Brazil or India must navigate intricate approval processes and ensure that their products meet local standards for efficacy and safety. This may require reformulating products, redesigning packaging, or investing in new manufacturing processes. Companies that proactively engage with local regulators and adapt their products accordingly are better positioned to gain market access and build credibility. Economic factors also play a pivotal role in shaping localization strategies. Emerging markets are characterized by wide disparities in income levels, infrastructure development, and access to technology. Products that are affordable and accessible in developed markets may be out of reach for many consumers in emerging economies. To address this, companies often develop value engineering solutions, stripping down products to their essential features to reduce costs without compromising quality. For instance, Unilever's success in India can be partly attributed to its introduction of single-use sachets for products like shampoo and detergent, making them affordable for low-income consumers who cannot purchase larger quantities. This approach not only increases market penetration, but also fosters brand loyalty among first-time users. Digital transformation has further expanded the opportunities and challenges of localization. The proliferation of smartphones and internet connectivity in emerging markets has created new channels for reaching consumers, but it has also necessitated the adaptation of digital products and services. Mobile apps, websites, and digital payment systems must be optimized for local languages, scripts, and user behaviors. For example, e-commerce platforms operating in Southeast Asia have integrated local payment methods, such as cash on delivery and mobile wallets, to accommodate consumers who may not have access to credit cards. Additionally, user interfaces must be intuitive and responsive, taking into account varying levels of digital literacy and device capabilities. The localization of global products is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing process. Consumer preferences and market conditions evolve rapidly, especially in dynamic emerging economies. Companies must remain agile, continuously monitoring trends and gathering feedback to refine their offerings. This requires establishing strong local teams and partnerships. Local employees bring invaluable insights into consumer behavior, regulatory changes, and competitive dynamics. Collaborating with local suppliers, distributors, and marketing agencies can also enhance a company's ability to respond quickly to market shifts and capitalize on new opportunities. However, localization is not without its challenges. Balancing global brand consistency with local adaptation can be a delicate act. Over-localization risks diluting the brand's core identity, while under-localization can render products irrelevant. Successful companies strike a balance by clearly defining which aspects of their brand and product offering are non-negotiable and which can be tailored to local preferences. For example, Coca-Cola maintains its iconic logo and brand promise worldwide, but it frequently adjusts its product formulations, packaging sizes, and marketing campaigns to suit local tastes and occasions. This approach allows the company to leverage its global brand equity while remaining relevant in diverse markets. Moreover, the pace of change in emerging markets can be unpredictable. Political instability, currency fluctuations, and shifting regulatory landscapes can create uncertainty and disrupt business operations. Companies must develop robust risk management strategies, including scenario planning and flexible supply chains, to navigate these challenges. Building strong relationships with local stakeholders, including government agencies, industry associations, and community organizations, can also help mitigate risks and foster goodwill. Another important consideration in localization is the ethical dimension. As companies expand into new markets, they must be mindful of their social and environmental responsibilities. Practices that are acceptable in one country may be frowned upon or even illegal in another. For example, advertising to children, the use of certain ingredients, or labor practices may be subject to stricter regulations in some markets. Companies that demonstrate respect for local norms and contribute positively to communities can enhance their reputation and build long-term loyalty. Corporate social responsibility initiatives, such as supporting local education or health programs, can further strengthen a company's local presence and differentiate it from competitors. Technology has become a powerful enabler of localization. Advances in data analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning allow companies to gather and analyze vast amounts of information about local markets and consumers. This data-driven approach enables more precise targeting, personalization, and product development. For example, streaming platforms like Netflix use sophisticated algorithms to recommend content based on local viewing habits and preferences, while also investing in original programming that reflects local cultures. Similarly, global retailers leverage data to optimize inventory, pricing, and promotions for specific regions. Yet, technology alone is not sufficient. Human insight and empathy remain at the heart of effective localization. Understanding the aspirations, anxieties, and daily realities of local consumers requires more than algorithms. It demands genuine engagement and respect. Companies that invest in building relationships with local communities, listening to their feedback, and co-creating solutions are more likely to succeed in the long run. The importance of localization is further underscored by the rise of local competitors in emerging markets. These companies often have a deep understanding of local consumer needs and are highly agile in responding to market changes. Global brands must not only match but exceed the level of localization offered by local players to maintain their competitive edge. This may involve leveraging global resources to deliver superior quality, innovation, or value, while simultaneously demonstrating a commitment to local relevance. The process of localization varies across industries and product categories. In the consumer goods sector, taste, packaging, and pricing are key areas of adaptation. In technology and software, localization may involve language support, compliance with local data privacy laws, and integration with local platforms. In healthcare, products and services must be tailored to local health needs, infrastructure, and regulatory requirements. Each industry presents unique challenges and opportunities, requiring customized localization strategies. Furthermore, the role of government policies and trade agreements cannot be overlooked. Tariffs, import restrictions, and local content requirements can influence the feasibility and cost-effectiveness of localization efforts. Companies must stay informed about policy developments and engage in advocacy to shape favorable business environments. In some cases, forming joint ventures or partnerships with local firms can facilitate market entry and compliance with regulatory requirements. Cultural sensitivity is perhaps the most intangible yet critical element of localization. Missteps in this area can have lasting repercussions. For example, several global brands have faced backlash for advertising campaigns or product launches that were perceived as culturally insensitive or tone-deaf. Such incidents highlight the need for cultural intelligence, a deep understanding of local values, taboos, and social dynamics. Investing in cultural training for global teams and involving local stakeholders in decision-making can help prevent costly mistakes. Looking ahead, the importance of localization will only increase as emerging markets continue to grow in significance. The rise of the global middle class, urbanization, and digital connectivity are reshaping consumption patterns and creating new opportunities for innovation. Companies that embrace localization as a strategic imperative, not just a tactical necessity, will be best positioned to capture these opportunities. In conclusion, the localization of global products in emerging markets is a multifaceted endeavor that requires a blend of research, creativity, flexibility, and empathy. It is about much more than translating words or tweaking recipes. It is about reimagining products and experiences to fit the unique tapestry of each market. The rewards of successful localization are substantial: increased market share, stronger brand loyalty, and sustainable growth. However, the risks of getting it wrong are equally significant. As the world becomes more interconnected yet more diverse, the ability to localize effectively will distinguish the winners from the also-rans in the global marketplace. Companies that invest in understanding and serving the needs of local consumers, while staying true to their core values, will not only thrive in emerging markets, but also enrich their global brands in the process.